Wow. What the fuck just happened? This technically is take two, guys. I've had my recording device set up for over an hour now because I'd set it up when it was about 5 minutes left to play in the third period. I'm like, okay, Anaheim's not coming back. I'd set it all up, doing my mic checks. All of a sudden, I have my phone. I check it. Hey, Ducks scored. Okay, let's see if they're going to make this interesting. 35 seconds later, the Ducks score again, and then with 15 seconds left, they crash the net, bodies flying all over the place, and the puck is tapped in, and it's a tie game. But let's start at the beginning. First period, insane back and forth action, puck going, one way, then the other way, the goalie standing on their heads, making it look like this is going to be a true, exciting playoff game, almost a Game 7 feel to it, and it was. Intermission happens. Second period, Oilers. All Oilers. What happened to the Ducks? And they score 3 goals, and it's crazy, and then all of a sudden, it just feels like a regular season game. It wasn't exciting. It was just boring after that. It was insane. I was almost like, what the hell's happening? What are the Ducks doing? What are even the Oilers doing? They're like almost playing this trap hockey style, and it was very underwhelming. And then in the third period, Ducks just couldn't generate any offense. No good chances coming from them, and honestly, I thought the game was over. Like I said, I'd set up my stuff to record. I was gonna get ready, for the final buzzer to sound and record what I thought was gonna be, another shutout for Talbot and a sort of boring finish to a exciting first period. But Anaheim made magic happen. Wow. So there's a few things we got to touch up on. The first thing was Benning and Sekera were injured. I think Benning came back. I'm not sure if Sekera came back. So I saw some people saying those hits were dirty. I disagree with that completely. I think those are good hockey hits. Oilers, you gotta just be able to take a hit every now and then. Fans, I'm not saying all your fans, don't get me wrong, but I've seen a few of the same kind of people. But that's always how it is. The loudest ones are usually the ones with the least amount of credibility and, saying like, that they should be suspended, or I don't know, they're saying those are bad hits. I completely disagree. Injuries happen in hockey, but I know, like I said, not the majority of the Oilers fans out there are like that, so definitely not going to lump you guys in with some of the, maybe perhaps people who are bandwagoning, like what happens every year with any kind of successful team. But the hit from Ritchie onto Russell, that's a bad hit. Suspendable? No. Penalty? Yes. And the reason I'm going to say not suspendable is because I don't think there's intent to injure. He did hit the head, but I don't think the head was targeted, and Russell was reaching forward to play the puck. Now, if we flash back to Game 2, Sharks and Oilers, Dylan reached ahead to play the puck, was hit in the head by Cassian. No call. Dylan also was fine, so I'm cool with that. If that's not going to be looked at by the league, I don't think the hit on Russell should be looked at either. I think it's very, very similar plays to where it is blindside, but only because the person is playing the puck and puts themselves in a sort of vulnerable position. Boarding, definitely. It was that kind of distance from the board that you don't want to hit someone on. So undisciplined for sure by Ritchie. Don't think it's suspendable, and I don't think it's intent to injure. So again, NHL can't do much about this as they, had backed themselves into a corner by not, punishing intent to injure plays throughout the rest of the league or whatever. So I don't think it'll be suspendable, but I do like I did like Ritchie answering the bell against Cassian. That's a tough battle. Even bout, I thought Cassian was going to kick his ass, man. He got those first blows in. Then Ritchie came back and it sort of evened itself out, got the takedown. Then they still kept punching after the refs were trying to get in there. They clearly wanted to go. In my opinion, the refs should have stepped out. Let them get it all out, man. You have to. It's dangerous if you don't, man. Bad plays will happen. But anyways, let's get back to the 3 Ducks goals. First one, just Getzlaf just keep taking blasts from the points. I think it was Draisaitl blocking those shots, man. Take this W, man. Take that W no matter what, Draisaitl, because goodness, man. Took the first one, you're injured. Take the second one, too, and it happens to go in. That sucks, man. That's rough. But you're doing what you should be doing, Draisaitl, so don't stop blocking shots. The second one was that, Fowler just sniped it. Good traffic in front of the net by the Ducks. Now the third one is what I guess people are calling controversial again, which I think this is even less controversial than the first one that wasn't called back. But like I said, I think that first one in the last game should have been goaltender interference. but it wasn't. This one, no way. That can't be goaltender interference. People are saying he's holding his pad. I don't see that. I mean, it's Ryan Kessler, so maybe you think he's got to be doing something like that. But at the same time, you can't make a call based on who someone is without the foolproof evidence that he's hindering him for doing something. He's trying to get his stick. His stick's in there. He got pushed down by Nurse. What kept getting pushed down by Nurse. So I mean, I don't think you could call that. You can't reverse it like that. It's just everyone's in front of the net. Just bodies flying. I don't think you could call back a goal like that. It's just plain and simple. You can't do it. I don't think. Especially seeing as how he wasn't the one who made the play. Like when I'm thinking back to the Pavelski one last year against Rinne, how he was pushed into them and then he made the play on it. Like didn't make an effort to get up. He just made the play on the puck. I'm thinking maybe that's the reason they had called that. But this is like completely different from that in almost every way. I mean, it's the bodies were going in front of the net. Kessler was pushed into there by Nurse. He might not have made much of an effort to get up, but he was making an effort to get up, and he was trying to get his stick back to remain in the play. So it's tough to call. It happens really fast. You could take pictures of certain angles and say, look, right here, he's holding the pad, and then but you have to look at it from another angle. No, he's got his hand on his stick. He's trying to get his stick. So it's tough to call either way, but at the end of the day, I think the right call was made. I don't think you could just call it on that, it's interference because it's Ryan Kessler in there and he might have been grabbing the guy's pad. It looked to me like he was trying to get his stick back. And I have no horse in this race, so to speak. You could say I don't like either team because they're in the Pacific Division, but like I said, I am pulling for the Oilers, but at some point, you got to stop choking 3-goal leads. You can't. There's no one to blame but yourself when you're giving up all those late goals, man. You can't let your foot off the gas. Just like the Sharks couldn't do it either. They, what was it, Game 5? Yeah, Game 5. They put themselves in the hole. They let off the gas pedal. They're up 2-0 or 3-0, and they let the Oilers come back and win in overtime. Can't do it, guys. You can't sit back. And that's what the Oilers did. They sat back. So eventually, you don't want to put yourself in a situation that's going to put the game in the ref's hands. And that's what you did to yourself. So if you want to avoid situations like that, don't let it get so close. Don't give up those first 2 goals. Simple. Then you won't be in that situation. If it is a goal, then, oh, wait, well, you're still up by 1 or 2, so it doesn't matter. But the fact is, you guys let them back into that game with 2 quick ones and put yourself in that situation. So Oilers' inexperience showing yet again in the playoffs. And you know what? You had a chance in overtime to finish the job as well, and you didn't. So 1 out of 4 where you can take a shot at the ref about. But like I said, I think it's even less controversial than the first one. And again, and this one, I think it's the right call for sure. So you can hate me for that. You can dislike this video for that. But this is me just looking at it as a hockey fan, objective. Like I said, I have no horse in this race. And as I've stated before, I'm actually pulling for Edmonton. I like the way they play. Ducks kind of play this boring kind of grindy style, similar to the Sharks, but it's even more like just so many cycles down low and then maybe get one shot and trash shots from the point sometimes. It's more of a system based than when the Oilers are kind of like they can do anything. They can forecheck, they go fast break, they create turnovers. But yeah, in this case, I think the goal was good, and I think the game. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna beat that dead horse any longer. The game, it happened, and the Ducks emerged victorious because of a beautiful play in overtime by who else? Ryan Getzlaf. What a pass! And Corey Perry. I'm a little bit happy to see him get a goal. As much as I've hated him in the past, he's struggled a lot against the Oilers team. And in general this season, he was not having a good year offensively. At one point, he's back on the 3rd line. So, yeah, it's pretty nuts. But a veteran play by Corey Perry waited him out. He waited him out. Beautiful pass by Getzlaf. Threaded the needle between the skate and the stick of, I can't remember who it was, but there was Corey Perry scooting right in there. I feel like Lucic could have made a play on Corey Perry if it looked like to me Lucic was kind of gliding into Corey Perry, which he can't do, man. Anyway, Corey Perry just outweighted Talbot and won the game, and what an insane turn of events. Just, wow, man. Wow. Just crazy. And now you go back into Edmonton, and you're facing elimination as an Oiler. Yeah, your fans are going to be behind you, but that's scary. Oilers haven't been at this place in this entire playoffs. This is your first time facing elimination, so how are you going to respond on your home ice with a Ducks team who's won 3 in a row against you? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but you know what? You got to come out guns blazing, and you got to not sit back at any point. Plan your toes, meet them at center ice the whole game. You sit back again, and you give the Ducks any space, they'll capitalize on it. It's hockey. They're going to do it. Anyway, again, this is just one of the craziest series. I'm so in love with the playoffs this year. Even though my Sharks are eliminated, all the series have been crazy good and a lot of back and forth action, but this one especially, man. Oh, it's so awesome. It's so awesome. Anyways, sorry. I'm still a little riled up. Still got the adrenaline flowing in me. Anyway, holy fuck, I've been talking for a long time. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.